Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Lauren. Let's see here. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing this thing, Tony. Good morning, Jan and Dan and Shauna. Wonderful to see everybody. Thank you for the update on your mom, Tony. We are praying for her right now as we continue to speak life into her and comfort into the life of your family and really comfort into her also. I sincerely hope that whatever it is, whatever happens, that it is a peaceful and easeful thing for everybody involved. Pepper is feeling okay today. She's definitely she's still in bed though. Yeah, we're definitely yeah. So yeah, Pepper's still in bed. She's feeling better today than yesterday, but we are definitely being careful with her, especially since she's got about just about 7 weeks to go. So we're starting to count down instead of counting up as far as the weeks go. Anyhow, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. We are here to say some nice stuff about us, to build into our own lives, and ultimately to give ourselves, the words that we need in order to, in order to be able to face the challenges of today. And I know, I know, Tony, you're dealing with a serious challenge today. As Dan says, it is a tough decision. Again, it's one that I have gone through, not necessarily with a parent, because the one parent that I have that's passed on has been, he was pretty, he was pretty, gosh, he was pretty convinced that he was not interested in. That he was not interested in hospice. He was not interested in extending his life at all. Like when it was his time, he was just done. But it was still, gosh, it's still a rough thing. So I'm so sorry to hear that you're dealing with that. But anyway, let's pull a card off the top of the deck. Let's see what Pepper has given us today. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we build into our own lives, as we change our own understanding, as we integrate these words into our world, then we are ultimately setting ourselves up for future success. So let's pull the card and say that today I am positive. I am positive. I bring out the best in people and situations. So I am positive. I bring out the best in people and situations. Are you positive? You are positive. You bring out the best in people and situations. I'm going to write that down in the comments. I encourage you to do the same thing. I am positive. I bring out the best in people in and situations. Let's see here. And yes. And ultimately, no matter what it is that's happening to us in life, there's a saying. It's circumstances don't matter, only state of being matters, which means that no matter what's happening in our world, and let me tell you, as evidenced by what Tony's going through. I know what Dan went through about a year ago. Um, Life is not always easy, and we have to make difficult decisions, and all of us do, and we all have something going on, some choice that we have to make that's hard, and but in the end, we can either choose to be positive about that situation or choose not to be positive about that situation. And when we choose to be positive about it, it gives us more of a mental clarity, which allows us to to uh, to make better choices when we have that mental clarity. We all make better choices when we are working with the idea that whatever is happening is something that is happening, it's something that is happening for us instead of something that is happening to us. Or we make better choices when we look at the situations that we're currently in, and we say to ourselves, this is something that I can choose to feel okay about and be okay with, and recognize that every other situation that we've ever been in, all the way leading up until this point, is something that we have survived. And this is something that, gosh, it has been very difficult for me in my life. I know that. I mean, I do the wake up call. It's a whole show full of positivity, And it was not always that way. I mean, I always used to look for just the most negative and cynical and, just a stress inducing perspective for literally anything. I could pull a, I could have won the lottery and been unhappy about it. I remember that I got a raise at work one time, and I was unhappy about it because I was inventing reasons why getting a raise was bad. Of course, in my brain, I knew damn well that having more money for doing the same work was a good thing, and that being respected by my employer was a good thing. But for some reason, there was some wire crossed in my head that had to be sarcastic about it. That had to be that had to find the negative in every good thing. And it's possible to find the negative in every good thing. And I watch people doing it. I watch good things happen to people, and they're like, oh well, now that something is good to happen, um, and now something good happened, therefore something bad must happen now to balance out the universe. And what an awful perspective that is. How about something good happen, and that sets us up for something else good to happen? And so when we are positive, when we are expecting the best, people will rise to meet our expectations. Situations rise to meet our expectations. And more importantly, we open our brains to the idea that good things can happen when we simply allow ourselves to believe that good things can happen. In fact, when we can point at the good things that have happened in the past, it is so much easier to point at the good things that are happening in the present, because being able to recognize the good in our lives is something that requires practice. It is not something that we are inherently born with, and past Paul can certainly attest to this. It took me years to be able to overcome that knee jerk reaction that I don't even know how I got it, but that knee jerk reaction that life was inherently against me, and replace it with the idea that what was happening was for my good. And so I am positive, and I find that as I am positive, I am surrounded by other people who are positive too. For the most part, the folks who are around me have a very positive outlook on life, and that positive outlook on life has allowed all of us to take risks that people who have a negative outlook on life don't take. People who have a negative outlook, people who believe that they're going to fail, people who believe that everything is against them, people who believe that everybody is against them, people who believe that the universe itself is hostile toward them, are not going to take any risks, and consequently are going to remain stagnant where they are forever. And who wants to be around somebody who remains stagnant? Who would you rather be in a stagnant swamp or in a flowing river? And the answer, of course, is that we'd rather be in a flowing river. We'd rather be in a place that's dynamic. We would rather be in a we would rather be moving. As we move, we have the ability to actually change our direction. And that's a thing that I think has been a very big deal in my own positivity practice, is that as I make moves, because I'm positive that they are going to work out well, it allows me to change my direction. I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said they were basically telling me that that I've done a lot in life, and well, haven't we all done a lot in life? But I when I was thinking about it, I realized that a lot of people, they find one thing that works, and then they do that one thing regardless of how much it sucks, or regardless of how poorly a fit it is. They continue doing that one thing over and over and over again because it works. And the fact is that we get locked into this idea that the one thing that we're doing is the only way that things could possibly be done. So, for example, when I was young, my dad had a machine shop. He taught me how to be a machinist. When I got older, I took lots of machinist jobs because that was the thing that I knew how to do. And even though as I got older and I changed as a person, it wasn't necessarily what I enjoyed doing. I nevertheless continued to do it because of there was just some inertia in my life. I was already moving in that direction, and I thought to myself, if I make a change, then I am going to, then I'm going to have to start from the bottom. Like here I am, I'm at this midpoint in my career, and if I make a change, then nobody is going to trust me to be able to do new things. Well, eventually I got so sick of it, I got burned out, which is exactly what happens eventually. I got burned out, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I hate my life. I don't like myself. And that's how I ended up in Central America. I've told this story many times. So I ended up in Central America because I didn't like myself. I didn't like my life. And I found when I got down there, which was really the place where I started to adopt an attitude of positivity. But I found that when I got down there, I had to make changes to literally every single part of my life. And I found that as I made these changes, that things still continued to work out. That all of my fears were not coming to pass. And that's what it really took for me to become positive. And so now I am positive, and I bring out the best in people and situations because I expect the best out of people and situations. And like I said, people and situations will rise to our expectations because we allow them to, and because we are focusing on that positive good. And so today, we're all going to have challenges. We're all going to have things that we need to deal with, and because of that, we are going to, we're going to have a choice as to, are we going to look at this, from what is the best possible outcome, or are we going to look at this from what is the worst possible outcome? And I encourage you, and I encourage myself as well, to look at this from, what is the best possible outcome, to choose to choose to believe that things are working for us, that the universe itself is inherently a cooperative component in, in our deepest goals and dreams and ambitions, rather than believing that we live in an antagonistic universe that stands against us at every turn. And so I am positive today, and you are positive as well. We are positive people, and it doesn't take a whole lot of positivity to overcome a whole lot of negativity. It just takes a little bit, just a little seed of it. And so I'm just here to plant that seed this morning, in your mind, in my mind as well, and also in the minds of everybody that we come across today, as we choose positivity when our brains might want to default to another emotion. All right, so Tony, I am praying for you. I'm praying for your mother. I'm praying for your family. Pepper and I pray together for you, and I'm sure that all the folks here on the Wake Up Call, we love you, we care about you, and we love and care about your mother as well. And I know, I've lost my dad. I know that Dan has recently dealt with a very similar situation. And yeah, we're praying for you. We love you. We care about you. We love you, and we love and care about each other. And thank you to everybody who's on this stream for making this a place of humanity on the internet, for making this a place of positivity on the internet, for making this a place where people really do care about each other and really do love each other and really do support each other. You guys are amazing, and the Wake Up Call would not be the same without you in it. So thank you so much for being here. All right, so I will return tomorrow with another one of these. And I want to say thank you again to everybody for coming. And thank you also to Pepper for making all this stuff. I know she's in bed right now. I'm going to go check on her. But yeah, so I love you. I appreciate you. I think you guys are awesome and amazing. And I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, aloha from paradise.